and everybody's there really to celebrate them.
Yes.
So I enjoy, those in particular. So I launched Krista's Birthday Koncepts, which is a subsidiary of my company, and it focuses solely on birthdays.
Okay.
So that's my niche. And then day of wedding coordination. I'm actually doing a wedding for a gay client, which I'm really excited about.
That's exciting.
And him and his partner are super excited, and that'll be in 2020. But that's going to be the next thing, day of wedding coordination. I've done tons of weddings, not tons, but several weddings. And I don't want to plan those from beginning to end.
I know that. No, think of
totally
a bride
beast.
trying to figure out her wedding plans, and then a wedding planner.
Yes.
Like, oh Lord,
I pass that along to those colleagues in the industry that can do it, because I don't have the patience for that. But day of wedding coordination is a little simpler. The person has already planned out everything. They just need someone the day of to execute and make it, special and come together. So I've specialized in that too.
Okay, so you said something about the birthday concept. So is that like services or actual different? Is it like packages?
Yes.
Or
there are packages that people can choose from as far as Krista's Birthday Koncepts, and there's also a la carte. So maybe you just need me to come and do the decor. So I'll do that for you. Or maybe you need me to make sure you have a good invitation vendor. Or maybe you just need the planning from beginning to end. Whatever you need for birthdays, that comes in different packages or a la carte.
Okay, so if someone comes to you and say, hey, I want to celebrate my child's 5th Elmo themed birthday or whatnot, how do you go about with finding themes and finding inspiration to actually incorporate into the actual event?
Usually what I do, because a lot of clients, I don't know them personally, what I'll do is I'll have them send me a picture of an event that they just absolutely loved.
Okay.
And I'll have them send that to me because it gives me an idea of their style more than anything. So once I can see their style, I kind of know, okay, this is what you like, but now we're going to put in Krista's event concept. My concept is a little different. I'm going to do handcrafted event centerpieces. I'm going to make sure that there's something that people remember about your event more than they remember about any other event.
Okay.
And so that those custom packages that you get are strictly for you. So.
Okay, awesome. So now I know being a business owner, you deal with customer service, me being the business owner, and I've dealt with so many people, like you said, energies and, just different levels. Like, can you kind of describe one of your best clients, describe how that was, and then describe one of your least favorite clients and how you dealt with that situation, and how you kind of moved past it and, either calmed the client down or, just, whatever you did to, overcome it.
Okay. One of my best clients, I actually mentioned her in my most recent article. Her name is Mrs. Clayton, and she doesn't mind me mentioning her name. But she was one of my best clients because she told me what she needed, and she stepped aside. She literally allowed me to bring my expertise to her event, and it was actually a surprise party for her husband, his 60th birthday party. And so that was so enjoyable for me because she was just like, you pick everything, the color schemes.
And that was fun.
Yeah.
I love clients like that.
Yes. She was just like,
those.
I know you know what you're doing. She found me on Thumbtack.
Okay.
She was just like, I just want you to do it. I'm too busy.
Right.
I'm a busy professional. I don't have time for the intricate details. That's your job.
Right.
I'm hiring you to do it. And she let me just run with it. Yeah. There was no cost that was too much because she wanted to make this special for her husband, and it was a surprise. I had to come to her house when he was at work, or playing golf, so it was a lot of fun. And throughout the entire thing, she was constant and consistent. Okay. So that's the good client or the better client. Awesome. A more challenging event that I had was the first full wedding that I did.
Okay.
And this client, I love her to pieces, still talk to her to this day, but it was a challenge because the day before her wedding, she's texting me about her flowers. And so I had to stop her and I said, hey, listen, we talked about this. you entrusted me all the way. We are the day before.
Yeah.
Trust that on your wedding
Right.
day, your flowers are perfect. I've sent you pictures.
Right.
You know, it's gonna be perfect, but I knew it was her nerves.
Yeah.
So I had to calm her down, and she's an alpha female like I am.
Okay.
And you know, that can kind of clash at times.
Right, right.
But I was able to kind of talk her through it and tell her, trust me, I got this. And when I did that, it helped. And she was so grateful for everything from beginning to end. And she said her wedding was perfect, and that's all I wanted. You know,
Okay.
so that was probably the most challenging. I think another challenge was my dad.
Okay.
Your dad hires you. He's a little
Right.
bit more particular about what he
Right.
wants. So that was it was another challenge with him. The day of the event, he's pulling me to the side. Hey, what's this and what's that?
Yeah.
But that's your, that's family.
I mean, like,
so.
you know, when you do work with family, you do have to kind of set some boundaries.
You do.
Because, you know, I've been there, done that as well, where I had, you know, family members wanting me to do this and do that. And you know, coming from, you know, they don't know anything about, you know, the process or anything like that. So you kind of have to woosah, you know, your whole way through it. It's just like, okay, I know better. Don't do this.
Right.
Don't do this.
Exactly.
Don't flip out. Because I'll be like, okay, I'm done. You know, find somebody else. I'm sorry.
Right.
I don't care if you are my relative, whoever. Like, I'm done.
And I've learned sometimes it helps if you educate them in the beginning and say, hey, listen, this is my process.
Right.
Every event planner is different. Everyone does things differently. This is my process. And if you have a question along the way, feel free to reach out, but this is how I do business.
Exactly.
And sometimes when you're able to do that, it kind of cuts down on the let me call you every 5 minutes let me email you every 2 seconds. So
I mean, and that's something that should be done with any initial, you know, client, whether they're, you know, family or not. And again, like I said, a lot of people don't know the process. So you do find those people that make you feel like, you know, you are like less like whatever.
Exactly. Like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what I do. This is my passion. So I'm not going to only do it to the best of my ability. But I'm also going to make sure it's professional at the end of the day. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. I've had those, you know, clients, like troublesome clients that just like worried. And every single text message, phone call, email, message, however they can contact you is what they will do.
That we're gonna do it.
And it's just like,
every
oh
time.
my goodness, like seriously. Like,
and sometimes you gotta set those boundaries. Listen, you can catch me on my devices. I may not answer the phone though. You can text me, you know, and I try to let people know, like, I'm available via email and text, but I may not be able to pick up that phone.
Exactly. And that's what I do. I tell people that all the time, like, yes, I'm on social media, or it seems to appear that I'm on social media all the time, but, you know, don't just call me randomly and think that I'm going to be available, because I have other things going on as well. And, you know, speaking of social media, how do you use social media to kind of network and increase, you know, your business?
Actually, I'm so glad you asked that, because I've learned now more people use, for example, Instagram more than anything. And when I go to networking events, what I do is I will get your Instagram and I'll send you a DM immediately, just so I remember where I met you, who you are, and that's how I reach out to people. I'm able to go back to their page and see what they do and see how it can help me or how I can help them. So for me, that's how I mainly use it nowadays, especially at networking events, because you get so overwhelmed with 1,000 cards. And you don't remember who was what.
You can't identify like the face
the face
to the picture. I mean, to the card.
Exactly.
I have so many business cards, and I'm the same way. Like when I'm out in public, at, you know, events or just meeting people, you know, on a general, I'm like, hey, do you have an Instagram? And, you know, and sometimes people might hit me with, do you have a LinkedIn? And I'm like, LinkedIn? Okay, you know, I got that, but hit me up on the gram. I'm always there. Exactly. So, you know, that's kind of good, you know, and I've like literally one time I met this lady in like a bathroom at a venue, and me and her just started having a conversation. I'm just like, do you have Instagram? She's like, yeah, I got Instagram. So I actually have a meeting with her tomorrow, and I met her like way back in January. So now I'm just finally coming around and say, hey girl, I remember you. Let's, you know, kind of connect and network and see what we can do.
Definitely.
Now, when it comes to networking and connecting, with women and people for your business, period. Like, have you found